One thing I haven't fully gotten used to in America is what happens after grocery shopping. Not what you buy or how much things cost, it's just what happens after you pay, specifically at places like Publix, because they bag the groceries for you. And that's not all. They then ask if you want help taking them out to your car. Now, look, I love it, but I still don't quite know what to do with it. So I'll usually pay. They'll ask me and I'll be like, yeah, nah, but you're welcome to come home and put them away for me. Which, with my accent, never quite lands how I thought it would. I said it to a woman once, and I'm pretty sure she thought I was trying to pick her up. Which probably sounds more about how it sounded than what I actually meant. But it's one of those little things over here that just feels different. It's not wrong. It's just different. And the longer that I've lived in America, the more I've realised. It's not the big differences that catch you off guard. It's the small, everyday habits. The ones you don't expect. The ones that no one tells you about.
You better take cover.
Things like how often people check in on you on restaurants, getting pulled over by the police, even putting food scraps down the sink. But the first one that really caught me off guard was homeowners associations. Yeah, I had no idea what they were when we bought our house. They were never explained to us. Genuinely no idea. But then you realize you're basically agreeing to a set of rules that somebody else has made for how your house looks and how you live. So things like whether your grass is cut or how long or how short it is, where your car is parked, whether there's mold on the siding of your house, even the colour of your back deck. But the one that really got me was the trash bins. I got fined for leaving my bin in front of the garage twice, $50 each time. And the only other place that I could put it was inside the garage, which with a newborn and a toddler in the middle of potty training wasn't exactly ideal. So I just left it outside. And that was about 6 years ago, and it's still out there right now. They also forbid you from hanging your washing outside, and apparently it lowers property values or something. Alcohol here can be a bit confusing. Not the drinking part, because, hey, I'm good with that one. Just the rules that are around it. Now, in Tennessee, where I live, you can buy beer and wine at the supermarket, but you can't buy liquor. So there's no whiskey, there's no vodka. That's in a completely different store. And then Sundays, which when we first moved here, you couldn't buy alcohol at all. Now it's after 10 a.m. Then there's the whole ID thing. So no matter how old you are, you still have to show ID when you're buying alcohol, which I guess I don't mind. But the first time that it happens to you, you stand there thinking, like, do I really look like I'm under the age of 21, or is this just how things work here? And look, sometimes I'll joke around with them. I'll say, hey, don't tell anyone, I'm only 20. Doesn't usually go over as well as what I planned, but that's part of me now. I just do it anyway. Another one that took me a while to understand was the letterbox, because I kept seeing this little flag up and thinking, oh, great, something's arrived. I'll go and get the mail. But no, it means you've got mail going out, which sounds pretty obvious once you know about it, but I didn't realise that at first. And to be fair, once you understand what it's for, it's actually brilliant. You can buy international stamps, leave your mail in the box, and send something back home to Australia without even having to leave the house. Now, next was going to the chemist, except it's not called a chemist here, it's a pharmacy. And you don't get a script, you get the full version, the prescription. So the first time someone said, just take your prescription to the pharmacy, I knew every word that they were saying, but it just still didn't quite click. It took a while for me because we're all speaking the same language. It's just not quite the same version of it. And I actually talk about these little things in my weekly podcast, This Week in America. Just the small things that you notice that no one really tells you about until you're living here. Next one is a small one, but it still catches me off guard every single time. After singing Happy Birthday. In Australia, it's automatic. Hip, hip, hooray. 3 times. Everyone joins in. No one even thinks about it. Probably goes back to our ties with England. Here, the song finishes and that's it. And I'm standing there thinking, are we not doing the hip hip thing? So we actually tried it at George's 3rd birthday. Nikki and I, we started hip hip hooray. People joined in. So we went again. Hip hip hooray. But by the 3rd one, we were doing it on our own. Well, I think that they were okay with 1, but 3 was probably pushing it just that little bit. I caught a few sideways glances, felt a little bit embarrassed. We don't do that anymore. Now, this one surprised me, and at first, I didn't expect that I would like it. The way mortgages work here, so it's something called an escrow account. Now, basically, your property taxes and your insurance, they just get bundled into your monthly loan payment. Whereas back home, that's all separate. You've got to keep track of everything yourself. Here, it just happens, which at first I didn't really understand, and now I kind of appreciate it. It's one less thing to think about, which, to be fair, I probably need. Now, something that took me a while to get used to was eating out. Now, it wasn't the food that was the issue. It was how often someone comes back to your table. So you walk in, you're greeted, you get walked to your table, you're sat down. They check on you. They top up your water. They ask if you want another drink. They check on you after you've had your first bite of food. And after a while, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm okay, guys. I promise you can leave me alone. Because in Australia, it's almost the opposite. You can be sitting there thinking, any chance I can get another drink, mate? Now to my run-in with the law. It's late at night. Just got off the interstate. I'm heading home from work. Not really thinking where I am. Next thing, behind me, blue lights. I get pulled over. Just like in the movies. License, registration, insurance. Do you know how fast you were going? I said, yeah, no, not really. Do you know what the speed limit is here? I'm like, 40, 50. It's 35, sir. And I just thought, yeah, fair enough. Took the ticket, didn't argue. Went into work the next day, told everyone, and they all said, well, why didn't you try to get out of it? Explain your situation. Say you were tired after a 12-hour day. Say you were rushing to get home to your newborn. Apologise. And I'm thinking, I was speeding. Now, back home, I'd just take the ticket and wouldn't think anything about it. Now here, apparently there's a conversation that can be had. You might want to let me know in the comments whether that's true or not, or they were just pulling my leg. And back to the grocery thing. Now, it still feels strange every single time. Someone bags everything, offers to take it to your car, and you're standing there thinking, I should probably just be doing this by myself. But it's definitely something I've gotten used to. Maybe a little bit too much. This last one, I still haven't fully adjusted to, but I do really like it. Putting food scraps down the sink. Now, in Australia, that doesn't really exist. It all goes in the bin or to your chooks. Here, you just put it in the sink, turn it on, and it disappears. And every time I do it, I still feel like I'm breaking something. But at the same time, it really is brilliant. It's one of those things that kind of feels wrong, even though I know that it works. Tip for the wise though, don't accidentally put cutlery down there. It does tend to sound a little angry. Let me know, are these becoming more common back home? Because I don't remember ever seeing one of them in Australia, but I really like them. You know, it's funny because none of these things are big things. On their own, they really don't matter. But when you put them all together, they slowly start to change how you see things. And I think that is what living in another country really does. Not all at once, just bit by bit. And you notice things that you would never have noticed before. And over time, some of them really do start to feel normal. Even the ones that didn't make sense at all at the start. So if you enjoy these kinds of small differences, I write about them each week on the website, fromdownunder to downsouth.com. Just noticing little moments, week by week, and just try to make sense of them all as I go. Hooroo, mateys.
You better take cover.